Check out this clip from the latest pre-patch podcast.
Yeah, you're watching footage right now if you are live here with us of obviously Bill playing. And you're actually right by the area that I just finished or just got beat this boss. But what are your guys' thoughts? Let's dive into it. What do you guys think? Game of the year contender? What?
Well, first off, you guys are both playing on PC, right?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Okay. I'm playing on PS5, so just to make that clear, we have full range of consoles on there.
It's okay because Tony's also playing on controller, so that doesn't really count.
Yeah, he doesn't count. Doesn't count.
It's not my fault. Not my fault.
What do you mean it's not your fault? It's 100% your fault. It's absolutely
I don't
your
blame
fault.
at all for playing
playing these kind of games
That's
with mouse and keyboard is
better.
I don't know how you do it. I genuinely don't.
Really well. I'm a man. I don't understand. I'm a god gamer. I don't get the fucking problem here.
How's that carpal tunnel?
Oh shit.
That's my only question.
It's real good. It's real good.
Yeah, is it real good? And got that wrist rest on.
We're gonna get demonetized right out of the gate for that one. But anyway, go ahead.
As far as my experience with it, I'm having an absolute blast. I think it's right up there with Stellar Blade and could very easily surpass Stellar Blade once I get a bit more into it. I'm just at the end of chapter 2 right now, so I know I have quite a bit of game left, but I'm digging it so far.
Yeah, I love it. I am actually enjoying this more than I enjoyed God of War. I don't want to compare it to Elden Ring. I don't want to compare it to Dark Souls because I don't think it's not. Yeah, I don't think it's fair to compare those two. Like obviously it has there are homages to those games with like the incense and the altars. But I mean outside of that, I don't know. I mean obviously
like a Sekiro kind of vibe.
No, it's not even a Sekiro.
This is in its own vein.
Not even its own vein. It honestly like rings back to like old school like action adventure game styles, like the old God of Wars, the Devil May Cries. Like it has that kind of a feel to it more so than it does a Souls like. And people keep saying it's a Souls like. I don't think it is a Souls like, and we have this conversation every fucking week. It seems like, but this is legitimately not a Souls like because I don't know. I feel like anybody out there that sees a hard game that's boss focused automatically goes to Souls like, and I don't see it that way.
I've seen a lot of people comparing it to Sekiro, so and I see a little bit, but yeah, I don't know. I'm right there with you. I kind of feel like it harkens back to like maybe the first God of War, not like the
the original trilogy. Yeah.
So for me, I have to say, like, it has a mix, and this is coming from me. I've played Sekiro, the Souls, Elden Ring. It has a mix of elements of everything, but it's not like everything, if that makes sense. Like it's like Sekiro with the style, Elden Ring with the Elden Ring and Dark Souls with the shrines and everything, like bonfires. And I get why people are actually comparing it to those games because of the difficulty. Like for me personally, I can see certain things, especially with the dodging and no parry mechanic, other than the magic that you can do to go like stone. It has elements, but it's different, and I'm really enjoying it as well. It's a really good game.
Right.
I think that I bounced off of Elden Ring. Again, nothing against the game at all. I've bounced off several Souls style games, even though I enjoy them. This one though, I don't know if it's just there's something about the way that the game feels, it flows, and also I guess maybe because I loved God of War, the new ones. I 100%ed those games. Well, 100%ed one of the games. And this one just the combat system, the flows, the builds, the variety, like the secrets, all of it just feels so good. Where like even in God of War, I felt like I was kind of being not necessarily dragged through the story, but I really wasn't able to kind of like experience it. And here I feel like they do a really good job of like giving you just enough like exploration to feel like, cool, I can go and kind of find some secrets that may or may not be there. And then in other places, I feel like I'm kind of being directed, but I don't. I feel like I'm very much engaging myself in this world, whereas in like God of War, I just felt like I was kind of being, like I said, like kind of dragged through. You need to move
Kind of-
here. You need to move here.
Kind of handheld. Wasn't a big part of that game, like the problem was Atreus was like just giving you so many like tips and hints of like you gotta
On
do
the
this, you
second
have to
one.
do this. Oh,
Yeah,
was
the
that the
second
second?
one, yeah.
I couldn't remember quite which one, but yeah, I remember that was a big issue with that one.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of pros to this game, but I also ran into a lot. Well, I wouldn't say a lot, but some cons. It doesn't take away from the game. Specifically, I know Bills have been playing on PS5. I played on the PC. Now, initial boot up, even with the compatibility or just the regular version, like compatibility mode of regular version, at the very beginning of the game, I don't know if it's resource intensive, like they was just trying to show off everything that this game could offer. But at the very beginning, my game crashed on me 6 times.
Yeah.
I personally I think that it is because like didn't yours crash on you as well?
Nope.
Sin?
No. So
Yours the very first time that you loaded it, you had it at like max and it crashed, didn't it?
Nope. No, so
thought
I
it
thought it
did.
was going. I thought I was going to. So to give a little bit of insight here to this, and I don't know. Again, I can't attest to whether it's the game because I'm also running on PC. Obviously, again, I think both mine and Tony's rigs are beefy, right? They're not small rigs. So I have an Intel 13900K, right? So my processor is one of the processors that had the issues that were going out with like Intel and motherboards and like their power, like all that
The
kind of shit,
overheating
right?
issue.
Right. Yeah. Like all of the, I forgot what it was called. It was like micro, fuck, it's the micro code or something like that. Anyway, and so this came out right when like all of the new BIOS updates and shit were going on. And I have a feeling, I don't know, Tony, did you I don't know, are you running an Intel card?
I'm on the
CPU?
Intel. None, yeah.
So if I'm wondering if part of it is also that because I updated my BIOS before, like right when that stuff came out, and I had no issues. But I do know that a lot of streamers that had not done the BIOS update were having a lot of problems. So I don't know if
That could have
it's
been it.
the game that is the problem there. Like, yes, this game is extremely graphical intensive. Like it is.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
not.
Well, it's
It's not ugly.
It's definitely it's the game to a point as far as the PC port goes, because I've also seen people have like the micro stutter issue with like the shader caches like loading in.
Okay.
At least whenever the
I
game
was-
first came out. I don't know if they day one patched it yet. I think they did, but I know like on release that micro stutter issue that Unreal Engine always has was there.
So
Mm.
was the one of the biggest problems was a lot of people were crashing at the start, right? Like at
Yeah.
the entry, like
Yeah.
It was
going
just
into the actual game.
It was just the very beginning of the game. After that,
Yeah.
for me, like
So-
after the beginning of the game, everything ran smoothly. Granted, I did dial it back just from cinematic to high, just to make sure
That's
that
the puppy we talked
I wasn't having those issues anymore, and I
So-
didn't.
So I'm not going to spoil anything, right? Because I think people want to go into the intro and like be amazed at the intro, but like their intro is a lot. They did
It
a lot
is
in the intro.
very.
Yeah, I was supposed to say,
It's a lot.
this
There's a lot
fucking
going on at the
intro
intro.
is fucking gorgeous. Like
It
it
really
is
is.
so fucking
really
good.
good.
Except one gripe I have with this game, like the only gripe that I had.
That fucking dog. I know. Same. No, I'm just
No,
kidding.
not the dog. Not the dog. The dog's awesome. Erlang Shen's dog. Cool. But I don't know
hate
about the
dogs,
PC
dude.
version, but they had motion blur set to absolute max on
I
the
turned that shit off.
PS5
I turned
Yeah, I
that shit
version.
turned it off.
immediately off.
I
And,
turned
and
it
it
off.
almost ruined the intro cutscene for me just because of how washed out and like
Yeah.
fuzzy
Yeah.
everything looked. Like
Mm.
it
I've
almost took
said
me
it-
out of it. I don't know why
I've-
it was set to max. I don't know
Because
who on the
they
dev
hide
team.
it. That's the one of the biggest things is like recently that I've seen is a lot of game developers recently have been using like motion blur, anti-aliasing, everything like that to hide like minor details in their actual game, like minor screw ups in their coding and like
Yeah.
the graphical processing.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
And I wish that they would stop that, man. I
Yeah,
really
right.
do.
nobody
like,
wants motion blur.
No.
Yeah.
If anything, it's hurting like the visuals more than
I thought the game was super muddy and washed out looking. I was like, ew, this kind of looks
Yeah.
crappy. And then I turned it off and I was like, okay, the game looks great now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is a beautiful game. I don't really I don't have any complaints. I have not yet had, I mean, outside of like, again, you know, there's obviously the mic, so some things where like you can see frame rate dipping.
Are you running ray tracing?
I don't think so. I think I naturally turned that off. Like, it isn't. That's another thing. I'm just kind of like,
Ray tracing
whatever.
is another thing that I've seen people having a lot of issues with in the PC build.
I don't buy into the whole ray tracing hype.
Sub 20s.
Like, I just don't care about the ray tracing on that. But overall, like, gameplay,
ray tracing is rough too.
The fucking, just again, the secrets. I will say though, like I've been playing. I don't know how many hours. I'm where you're at, Bill, and I just learned that you could fucking jump. Dude,
Oh my
this
God.
area, I'm getting. Yes, I don't know why.
That's the problem with playing on mouse and fucking
I'm
keyboard.
like,
You don't know
why
what
the
any of the keybinds are, and you're just like, oh, what did
Wow.
Dude, I'm
Whereas
getting
if you
like-
had
That's
if you had a
crazy.
controller as God intended in your hand, you would know. I hit X
Whoa,
button.
hey, whoa,
What
whoa,
does X
whoa,
button
whoa.
do? It
Whoa,
jumps.
whoa.
Well,
What
okay.
came first? The
First
keyboard or the controller, sir?
First off, let me
Just
explain
saying.
something. Every game ever
What about the
that has ever
joystick?
had it has always had spacebar being fucking
Still had to
jump.
program that with a keyboard and a mouse.
Yeah.
This one has control being jump, and it's not intuitive
That's
at
so
all
weird.
to have that.
That is
Like, it's
very
nice-
weird.
As if they don't want you playing with mouse and keyboard.
I don't
Yeah.
give a fuck.
Yeah,
Can
it's almost
you,
as if they
can
don't
you
want you
rebind that? Or
Only
no?
so
'Cause
you can
I know there was a
rebind-
few things you couldn't rebind.
You can rebind, but only within it's the realm of what it tells you can rebind. Like, I can't just be like, fuck it, I want to make
Oh.
control, I want to make jump my fucking, like, if I'm
Space
I don't know,
bar?
crazy. Yeah, if I want to make like a mouse button or something like that, I can't do that. Like, it's only within the realm that it tells you that you can do. So it's that's really weird. Anyway,
Almost
That
as
is weird.
This game was meant to be played on.
no, it's not.
controller,
It's
right?
not fucking. No game is ever meant to be
It
played on a
really-
fucking
It
controller.
really is, man.
Actually, yeah, that is not factual. There are games that are meant to be played on controller. Devs come out and say it.
No,
that's actually
Okay.
just.
I'm with you. I'm with you, Zen. No.
Anyway.
You know, the only other gripe I
Controller
have with
plebs.
this game is the fact that, well, I don't know chapter two. My thing is, when you play this game, the invisible walls are is a lot. I don't care for the invisible walls, and especially because it's like, okay, there's secrets. There's a secret boss here. There's secret this, but there's
Right.
invisible walls everywhere.
Yeah.
There are. I don't mind it too much myself because it keeps like things, I guess, more in focus for me. I actually was saying at the very beginning of the game that I was happy with how the levels are laid out because I'm kind of burnt out on like too much exploration in my action adventure games. I think this is a good mix for me personally of exploration and linearity. It gets straight to the point. The pathways branch off. There's good incentives on every path that I've gone. None of them are too far out of the way, but it's not overwhelming with the amount that you can go and explore.
So the problem with that is, without spoiling anything, as you increase in chapters, it changes.
Okay.
There's like the invisible walls are like, oh, okay, well now you can be pushed off a ledge, or now you can something like this can happen. It's really weird. It is it's just weird. I don't know. That's probably my only gripe.
There's a spot in this chapter that we're talking about, and again, for all of our audio listeners, we're talking about it's after the first chapter. You get I think this is chapter 2, right? That's it.
Yeah, chapter 2 in the desert,
and you're in the desert area. Again, we're trying to keep it without spoiling, obviously. Motherfucker, I didn't know you could do that. Okay, well that got spoiled for me. Fucking damn it. But anyway, so there's a spot where like you literally go and there's a if you guys have played and know what I'm talking about, there's a horse tied to something, right? And the horse is talking. You know what I'm talking about? Like on this level?
No.
Yes. I do.
You did, so okay, maybe you didn't see this part, Bill. But there's a horse like standing up tied, and you can go back behind this building. You can distinctly hear somebody growling. Like you can hear what sounds like a boss, and I have tried every which way to try to get to where I think this thing is at, and I can't because there are walls. There's some, so I understand that gripe because I'm like,
okay,
I don't know if there's something there, or this is just like you're adding an audio cue into this house. It's supposed to be, but like
maybe
Is
this
maybe
game
it's like in
backtracking?
Baldur's Gate 3 where there's a troll and another troll fucking back there. And you
maybe,
gotta do
but let me go
something
see it
to get
like
in
I
there.
did in Baldur's Gate 3.
Does this game
So
have
it's
like,
like, let me
backtracking
watch
though?
it. God.
You can, yeah, you can work
You can
back
go back, yes.
and
Like,
see, go back to other
Implement it
shrines.
in. Do you think like maybe there's something that you might be coming
don't
back
know.
to
I
that,
mean,
or
maybe-
that's foreshadowing? I don't know. I'm just
It could be.
brainstorming here.
It does
Yeah.
kind of have that Metroidvania feel to some of the
Right.
stuff. Like it does incentivize backtracking once you get
Yeah.
certain items and abilities and stuff.
So let's because we got a lot of other stuff. I do want to close the book on this,
Yeah.
and I want to ask a serious question. Game of the year,
Okay.
like
But before you ask that, I did want to ask a question because like it kind of ties into Elden Ring, right? Do you think that like is there optional bosses in this
yes,
like
Yes,
there is an Elden
man.
Ring?
yes.
Tons,
And if
So
that's
many.
the case,
Yeah.
do you
The
think
majority
that's
of them are.
do you think that that's going to be an issue? Is that going to be an issue?
Right?
Finn?
Is there going to be a
Is that
DLC
gonna is that
comes
going to be a
out?
gatekeeper?
That
I'll
requires
I'll
that
stand up
optional
right now.
boss to
I'll
be-
fight you, motherfuckers. Fuck you, you fucking piece of shit. If they make a DLC that makes you fucking sit here. Yes. Yes. If they hide a DLC behind some optional boss that only fucking 6% of the entire world has seen, yeah, go fuck yourself.
I do want to say though, as far as optional bosses though, I'm really impressed about the lack of repeats that I've seen so far. There's only been a couple repeat
agree.
encounters. Most of them have been like pretty decently different.
Did you get to see the golden Buddha dude?
Mm-hmm.
I 100% agree. I have seen a very wide variety of enemies in this game. That is one thing Elden Ring lacked. So I
Yeah,
agree on
I
that.
agree.
That's actually really dope.
Yeah.
All
Also,
right.
PS5, the quality of the game, like I haven't had any lag spikes, I haven't had any dips. It runs really good on the PlayStation on performance mode.
Well, that's
So.
because IGN said that it's because that's the only game system that's supposed to be out for, and why Xbox isn't getting it.
Apparently.
Anyway.
Apparently. As far as game of the year goes,
yeah.
in answer to your question, for me, it's a contention.
That's to say, is it
Like,
at least in the running, right?
It's a competitor for sure.
Yeah.
Like I said, for me, it's right up there with Stellar Blade as far as like my enjoyment and what I think the quality of the game is. And that can go up and most likely will as I get like further into the game. So
Okay, yeah. And Tony, your thoughts too? Yeah. And
Oh no. I agree. I agree with everything Bill said. Like without repeating myself or repeating what Bill said. Yeah, it's a contender. It's up there.
Yep. I think that obviously Marvel Rivals is going to take the cake. That's going to be the #1 game of the year. But
No, it
it's,
I mean, it
no,
could.
it's
Overwatch
first-
was the year it
it's
came
First
out.
Ascendant. Let's be
be
honest.
real.
First Ascendant's fucking gonna
Suicide
win.
Squad is
Yeah,
going to be the
yeah.
game of the
I
year.
forgot that
Let's
game
be
came
real.
out this fucking year.
That's a good one. Yeah.
So no, I think that this game actually probably will win game of the year. It will definitely be in the running, but I think it actually wins game of the year personally. So
I'm happy
It
if
does
this
have that
goes
kind
in.
of like pop off from the gaming community that like Elden Ring had. Like there's
this-
been a lot of talk about it, surprisingly.
Well, this game alone, I think, pushed Steam's
Fucking, like, the
what's it
highest ever
called?
been.
They had like 65 billion users or
Yeah.
something like that on, or something million
Yeah.
users on, and that's like their highest peak that they've had in like several years. So
Yep.
I mean, it's definitely there was quite a bit of hype for it, and I think that it's done a good job of like capitalizing on that hype, which a lot of games that have released recently, like before the whole fiasco with Sony, I would have said Helldivers, 100%. But after that, yeah, I don't know, man.
Thank you for checking out the Patch Notes. If you enjoyed this small selection from our podcast, come and join us every Thursday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern for the full unfiltered pre-patch podcast. And check out our past shows on anchor.fm/prepatch podcast.